Hi guys, this is Andrew with rockclass101.com. Today we're going to learn how to play Frosty the Snowman on ukulele. And this lesson is perfect for somebody that's really wanting to do like a fingerstyle arrangement of the song. So it is a little bit more advanced. I'd say it's probably an intermediate to an advanced arrangement, but it's got a lot of cool parts in it, and it's great practice for that fingerstyle playing. So for this song, I've broken it down into a few parts. There's an intro, an A melody, and a B melody, and then it goes back to the A melody. And in this lesson, we're going to be learning that intro plus the A melody. If you guys want to learn the rest of the arrangement, that B melody, you can learn that at rockclass101.com, and you can also get the complete tabs to follow along with, as well as access to the on-screen tab viewer, which plays the tab in real time with the video or just the audio of me playing the arrangement. So let's go ahead and get started with how to play the intro. Now this intro has a swung eighth note feel, and it actually uses some palm muting sparingly. So if you haven't done palm muting before and you have no idea what that means, it's basically taking the palm of your hand, of your right hand, and resting it on the saddle on the bridge, and basically you lightly touch it, and it gets that kind of like muffled sound. If you push too hard, then it starts to sound kind of tinny and bad. So it's just a light little touch. You guys can try this with me. We're just going to take the third string, and I want you just to palm that saddle and lightly hit that third string. So if you can make it sound like that, then you've got this down. So occasionally I'll palm mute a few notes in this intro, just to give it a little bit of a different sound. That way it's not always just clear note ringing out sound. So let me go ahead and play the intro for you, and you can hear what I'm talking about, and then we'll go ahead and learn it. Okay, so basically what I'm doing is I'm hitting the third string open twice, and I'm going to palm mute those first two notes. So it's just hitting that third open twice, but the first hit is going to be held out a bit longer. So you have O, O, followed by open first and open fourth. So it's just a bunch of open strings so far. And if I palm mute, I get that. So again, just so that we can hear it clearly, I'm going to play it as all regular notes. Okay, followed by a couple more opens. We're going to hit the second string open and the third string open. Okay, again, slower. And if I call it out by string name, I have 3, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3. Again, 3, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3. Remember, it's got that swung feel, right? So we don't want to play it as a straight eighth note. Slower. Okay, the next one, we're going to have the second fret of string 3. And again, we're going to hit that one twice, followed by an open second, and then back to that third string. So I'm going 3, 3, 2, 3. The whole time I've got my middle finger anchored on that second fret of string 3. Okay, the last few notes are going to go 2 to 0 on string 1. So I'm using my ring finger for pull off. Okay, and the final note is the fourth string open. And if I want to palm mute it, I'll probably just palm mute the first couple notes. Right? So what you could do is probably just palm mute the first two notes of the first bar and the first two notes of the second bar. So you would have palm, palm, and then opens or regular notes for the rest of it. So there's bar 1, and same thing for the bar 2. Okay, so one more time, this is what it sounds like. So guys, that's our intro. It's only a couple bars. It basically takes after, if you listen to the original recording, it's kind of how they started out the tune, right? So my version was based off that old recording. So let's go ahead and go into our A melody now. All right, and I'll go ahead and play the first part, and then we'll break it down. Alright guys, so that's basically how the A melody sounds. You're going to be repeating the A melody twice in this arrangement, but when you repeat it the second time, you're going to have an alternate ending. So we're going to talk about that when we get to the end of the A melody. Let's go ahead and break down the first bar. So the first bar starts with a C5. So think of just a regular C chord. Now the only difference with the C5 is we're going to take that ring finger and put it on the second string, 3rd fret. So it's basically just moving it up one string. So now we are going to strum 4 to 2. Okay? And we're going to hit we're going to follow it with a slap right after that. So I have strum, slap, strum, slap. And then I'm going to go with a few open notes. And remember, this whole song's got that swung 8th note feel. So here's our next part. So it's going to go open 3rd, open 2nd, open 4, and then open 2nd again, followed by the 1st fret of string 2. Okay? So again, I have strum, slap, 3, 2, 4, 2, 2. Okay? Now our next bar is going to go back to that C5, followed by adding your pinky to that 3rd fret of string 1 right underneath it. So you have strum and then that single note. Okay? So together now we have. Okay. Next you have another slap followed by a basic G chord. So we're just going to strum all 4. Add that pinky back to that 3rd fret of string 1. So it's G, pinky. So there's our first couple bars. Now we have. Okay, one more time. Next part, we're going to jump up to the 5th fret, okay? And this is going to be our F6 chord. And it's going to be our index finger flat from the 3rd string down. So it's all on the 5th fret. So I'm just going to strum 3 down and then add my pinky to 8 on string 2 and play a single note. So it sounds like that. So now that I'm still at this bar on the 5th fret, our next chord is going to go back to that G, but instead of making it with 3 fingers like we usually would, we're going to keep this index finger barred. Just move it down to that 2nd fret, add the middle finger to the 3rd fret of string 2, and you're going to pluck all 4 strings. So you have a basic G, but to make it more efficient and faster when you're playing, you can see keeping the bar is way easier than switching to 3 fingers. And our next chord, or our next pluck that we're going to hit, is going to be so much easier to do with this bar intact. Okay, so from that G, what you're going to do is you're going to lift your middle finger up to the 3rd fret of string 3 and put your pinky on the 5th fret of string 2. And you're going to pluck those 2 notes. So it's basically playing a diminished chord. Okay? So again, I have strum from 3 down on 5, 8 on string 2, back to the G but barred, then our diminished, which is 3 and 5 on strings 3 and 2. So just plucking those 2. And then finally you're going to go back to the C5, just drop that middle finger down 1 string, and you've got C5. Cool, slower. Okay, so let's recap all the way to there, guys, from the first part. We have from C5. Okay, so now our C5 is with our middle finger, right? Instead of our ring finger like before. So now we're kicking into the next bar, and the next bar is going to have a slap as your first hit, and then an open third, and hitting the second string while it's still fretted with that middle finger. So you have, right? So from that diminished, we have ba, C5, slap, 3, 2, and keep that middle finger where it's at. So it sounds like that. Then bar that first finger again, hit the G, drop the middle finger down. See how I pivot down? Right, so I'm going to pivot down for that third fret of string 1, back up for our F6, and same, pinky on 8 on string 2, back to G barred to the diminish. Okay, so you can tell all that's the same. Let's put just that part into context, right? And I'll play it from the beginning. Okay, so you guys can hear that it basically doubles the same part of going back up to the 5th fret, right, and then to that bar G, to that diminished chord. So it just, if you learn it once, you've got it for the second time around. But the second time around, after you hit that diminished, is when things change up a little bit. So after I hit this, I'm gonna hit the open first string, right? And that'll complete that bar. Okay? And then I'm gonna go into that G5, and I'm using my ring finger this time around, not the middle finger. And then putting the pinky underneath for that 3rd fret of string 1. So I have diminished, open first, C5, add the pinky. Okay, one more time. And then I'm gonna go with the open 2nd string, followed by a slap, and then the 3rd fret of string 2. And we have a different chord right here. It's gonna be an A7. So think of your regular A chord, right? We have the 2nd fret of string 4, the 1st fret of string 3, and keep that ring finger on the 3rd fret of string 2. So I'm hitting string 2 and then strumming 4 to 2, followed by an open 1st string. So again, from our diminished, we have, so it sounds like that. Again, one more time, I have diminished, open, C5, add the pinky, open 2nd, slap, 3rd on string 2, A7, strum 4 to 2, and then the open 1st string. Okay? So that's what we get. Now we're into ending 1, which will sound like this. Okay? And ending 2 is really similar. Let's break down ending 1 first. Basically keeping my pinky where it was, which is that 3rd fret of string 2. And I'm playing 2 strings at a time, followed by the 3rd string open. So I'm hitting 4 and string 2, and 4 is open, and then string 3, and then I'm putting middle finger on 2 on string 4, index on 1 on string 2, hitting those 2, followed by an open 3rd. Lift up, I have open 4 and open 2, open 3rd. So that's what we get. Next, take your 1st finger, put it back down on the 1st fret of string 2, middle finger goes on the 2nd fret of string 3, hit those 2, and then to C5. Okay? after this part, I'm going to add a couple hits. So it's going to be 4 fingers going pinky, third, second, first. So 4 taps, just like that. Followed by 2 thumb hits and a big hit with the fingernails. So, right? Now, if you don't want to hit the body of the uke, I know I've had members email me saying, oh, my ukes are too nice and I don't want to hit it. Just hold it out then. Hold that C5 out. Right? And you're just going to hold that one out before you kick back into the A melody. So ending 2, when you repeat the song, will be different. It's just going to have the last 2 bars. You're going to sub out for this. As you can see or hear, it's almost identical. So it starts the same. All of that, the first 3 hits are the same. But then you go into a G without the first string to a regular C. So that's your second ending. So that's basically how the A melody goes, guys. You know, it is a intermediate to an advanced arrangement, so it is a bit tricky, but getting the tab from rockclass101.com and using the tab play along helps tremendously in learning this song. So I really recommend you guys check that out. So let me do this. I'll go ahead and play the first, I'll play both endings. So I'll repeat the A melody twice with ending 1 and ending 2, and I'll play it slow and you can hear everything that we've learned. Okay, so that's basically how the song will go, and there is a second part that comes after this, which is the B melody. If you guys want to learn the B melody, please check out rockclass101.com. You can learn this complete arrangement as well as get those complete tabs to print out and access to the on-screen tab viewer. So I hope you guys enjoyed this and have a very, very happy holiday. Thank you.